In this section, we're going to be focusing on interactive applications. So some of the applications that we're going to be creating are going to be interacting with endpoints, and these are going to be able to list the content from the endpoints, and then also select the content and update each individual item. So sending the update request back to the server, we get the response back from the server that it's updated, the time that it was updated, the name, the email of the content that was updated. We get the path for the update of the users with the ID. And as long as we're sending a put method request, we're able to make the update to it. And for this endpoint, it's returning back the user's information. And then we can also go back and list out the additional users and loop through multiple users, so multiple pages of users, selecting and then also updating the content for those users, and that's coming from an endpoint. This is a simulation of the updated content, so it's not actually updating as the server data is still static, but it's simulating the response that you would typically get back from a server for the updates. Another application that we're going to be building is going to be a dynamic input area where we can send and make requests over to the server with request parameters, so making some updates to these. And what the server is doing is it's simply responding back with the response object and outputting it to the page. So that's the values that we see there. Another iteration, another take on that is the same idea where we're sending and we're posting data over to the server, and the server's responding back with whatever data that we've posted to. And then at that point, we have the opportunity to take that response data and output it to the page. So constructing the page objects dynamically depending on the data that gets submitted to the endpoint. So it's doing a full round trip from our web page, AJAX request without the page reload, and sending it to the server. We've got another example of how we can list out items. So this is another endpoint that's got quite a bit of data that's available within it. We can also select items by its post ID. So if we want to select by ID, it just adds it to the top. And we also have the opportunity to interact with the content, simulating that we're saving the content to the server. And then as well, so that's just updating the content, save to the server. And then also for the items, we have an opportunity to delete the items. We can also create items and add them to the database, simulating the addition of the adding of the items. So click add items, and then we have the same opportunity to make updates to it, save it, and delete the item from the page. Another application that we're going to be working on is using our GitHub repository. So creating a db.json file and creating customized JSON object that we can then pull back into our web page. So we're making a request over to the JSON data, and this gives us an opportunity to create our own testing data online that we can return back within our web application and then make use of the responded data that's coming back. All of the source code is included, and all of the endpoints you should be able to connect to just using the fetch request. We're also going to be discussing headers and how to do posts to the server, so using the post method, and a whole lot more. Source code is included, and one of the best ways to learn is to try the code out for yourself. So let's get started. If you have any questions or comments, I'm always happy to hear from you.